The corruption case against former House Speaker Mike Madigan is set to go to the jury at any time right now. The question remains, has the government proven its case that Madigan and his co-defendant, Mike McClain, broke the law?
Attorneys for McClain tonight, a longtime friend of the former Illinois House Speaker, say no, the government has not proven the case. NBC5's Charlie Wojciechowski at the courthouse. He's been covering this trial from the beginning. Charlie, I know you're here to tell us what happened today and what's going to happen when the jury gets the case.
It has been a long process, Allison and Stephan, and today it was Mike McClain's turn. As you said, a longtime friend, a known lobbyist in Springfield, and the attorneys today made his closing arguments about that lobbying effort. They say lobbying may be distasteful, but it's not illegal. Attorneys for Mike McClain are seeking to convince the jury that the longtime confidant of Speaker Mike Madigan is not guilty of any crime, just being a lobbyist. Lobbying is a profession about hope, Attorney Patrick Cotter said. No bribes, no exchanges. Cotter also sought to discredit the state's main witness against McClain, former ComEd spokesperson turned lobbyist Fidel Marquez. Marquez struck a plea deal with the government for his testimony. Mr. Marquez, he got that great deal, Cotter said. He stays out in Arizona shooting snakes, referring to Marquez's application to buy a gun even though he is a convicted felon. No one testified that there was a conspiracy except Fidel Marquez, Cotter told the jury, and he is a liar. We are now at that stage in the trial where the closing arguments have been made and the federal government gets its chance to make a rebuttal, trying to poke holes in those arguments. That is scheduled to happen tomorrow first thing, and then after that we could have the jury start deliberating this case. Stephan, Allison, back to you.
Let me ask you, Charlie, because you've been inside the courtroom, you can read the room and see the jury and their reactions. We were certainly surprised when Madigan made that risky decision to testify, take the stand in his own defense. I guess any idea, Charlie, or hint on what kind of impact his testimony could have made on the jury?
I put that question to Patrick Collins. He's a former U.S. attorney, and he says it could have a very big impact depending on whether or not the jury believes what Mike Madigan said. If they believe him, it really could shorten deliberations in this trial. Deliberations are it's more of a art than a science in predicting those kind of things, but if they believe Mike Madigan, they say this could shorten those deliberations.
So let's talk more about that, Charlie. This has been months of a trial that you've covered from the beginning. This jury is obviously going to have a lot of evidence to go through, a lot of testimony, not to mention their jury instructions. Any wisdom on how long these jury deliberations could take?
The rule of thumb, we are told, is 1 day of deliberations for every week of trial. We've got 14 weeks of trial here, and there is a lot of evidence, a lot of it in the form of audio visuals. There are recordings made by Danny Solis. There are videotapes that he made. Each one of those is now available to the jury. And today they put the transcripts together, and they decided to use 2 binders instead of 1 because there were so many transcripts for the jury to go through. Again, a lot will depend on whether or not they believed Mike Madigan when he took the stand. A risky move, but one that could play out in his benefit.
All right, Charlie Wojciechowski, live at the Dirksen Federal Building. Thank you so much for the update.
Getting close to the finish line, almost there.